Good afternoon. This is a real tangled mess of a message. Because in one circumstance, I'm on the wrong side of it. And in the other circumstance, I'm on the right side of it, but the wrong side of it. So we have two situations. This is to teach us pride is pure evil. And it can become a major issue that stops us from healing. He's talking to me a lot, right? Trying to get this across to you. I'm going to stop playing so I can try to convey the messages. So we have situations where you know what's going on with me. I've been saying it. This is how I've done this. So there was a day where I went somewhere and wanted to talk and was allowed to have the door open, but was basically told to go away. But I went there. So the typical human response was exactly how I responded. And I said, okay, if that's how you're going to be, well, if you want to talk, you know where I'm at. I'm not coming back. Normal human reactions from being hurt. Was that right on my part? As a spiritual leader of a relationship, much less, yes, I'm learning ministry. Even though I lead a ministry, I'm still a human being. As was the pastor that was at the church that I was going to, that had a similar circumstance, but not the same. Stuff happened where an elder there said some disparaging comments directed at me, and it was embarrassing in front of the worship band. So we had a little bit of roundabout back and forth. I didn't yell at them or anything, but it was just wrong on their part. And at the end of it, they wanted to discipline me because I put a meme up on my Facebook page that sometimes the person behind the pulpit could have a very big problem. And I was told at that time, and they deny it, but God is my witness, that with this church, one was an elder, the other was an elder, and the pastor goes like this to me: when you come at me, when you come at one of my riding buddies, because these were his riding buddies, I'm going to come at you with these. God is my witness that happened. Well, when we put pride into the equation as to him doing that, protecting his elders when that one was wrong. And this was about wanting to have a worship night at the church, but that elder wanted no part of a worship night. Why? There's nothing wrong with worshiping and praising the Lord. So a year and a half ago, when my wife left here, I went to this pastor's house as a brother, not as a pastor, and asked him if he would pray with me to help my marriage, to save my marriage. And the same attitude that I had until a couple of days ago when God really got in my head. He said, if you're not going to give her grace, do you know me? Yeah, this ain't pointing at you today, is it? This is right at me, as I told you. See, when I speak, I don't speak pointing at you. They're to guide you to not make the same mistakes that I make. And trust me, I make a bunch of them, as do all other pastors and ministers. We're not perfect. I don't call myself a pastor. I've been called that by many people. I don't want a title. I'm just your brother. I'm leading the ministry. Yes, I see that. But I'm just a brother. I'm no better than you or anybody else in this world. But when you come down to it, if I would continue to walk forward because she didn't want to leave me in and talk and say, well, I'm not talking to you. I'm not coming to your place. I'm not doing anything that way. You got to come this way. Which is how I responded, which was very wrong on my part. Where am I showing grace? Where am I showing understanding? Where am I showing patience? Where am I showing God's love that she's hurting for whatever reasons? A lot of misunderstandings, in my opinion. But that happens when you have the works of God and Him trying to restore things and two people who are very strong-willed. Patience requires understanding. Trust in the Lord in your heart and soul. Lean not on your own understanding. Submit to Him, His ways, and He'll make straight your path. Well, I messaged her today. I said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I handled things wrong. I shouldn't have dug myself in, because this is what humans do, is you hurt me, so I'm going to dig in. I'm not going to budge either. Well, when we're leaders, whether it's wives, husbands, sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, whatever, when we're leading each other as love your neighbor the way you love yourself, are we ever to dig in? Are we ever to say, no, I'm not going to pray for you the way that pastor told me because he didn't like the fact that I wouldn't accept his discipline that I should have never had in the first place? I didn't do anything wrong. It was his elder who made the comments directed at me in front of the worship band that were beyond. I never received an apology from that elder. I never heard anything. But when I went to this pastor's driveway, he says, well, if you couldn't do what I asked you to do for me, to accept my discipline, which I never should have had any, then I'm not going to pray for you. This is the problem that we have in this world, is that we, especially as men, we dig in and we let our anger fester, and we don't understand that it's the anger that causes more sin, repaying evil with evil. And I reached out to her this morning. I said, if I'm supposed to be the spiritual leader of us, if we are supposed to be together, I did wrong. Because I should have understood. The process of humbling ourselves is asking the Lord not just to help the other person see, but asking the Lord to help us see. To reveal to us how our truths are not His truths. Very convicting. And I hope that this helps you understand. When we dig in because somebody else has dug in, or because they're hurt and we're not understanding, and maybe they don't understand all of what was going on at that moment of what they got hurt, and we don't just give a little bit of understanding and love, we destroy not just them but ourselves. So then we don't have the opportunity to see mornings with the sunrise and the brightness and the beauty of God. We have bitterness in our hearts. And we're not enjoying the joy of restoration because we just put a pause button and slammed our hand down on it. And we stopped God's work because we are stuck in, I'm not coming over your way because you would not let me in to talk. You rejected me. Well, you have to come my way. This is what we do as humans. This is what Satan does inside our heads, is he teaches us to fall for his lies because of our emotions. Very heavy conviction. I'm not ashamed to share this with you. This is why I'm here. This is why I do this stuff. I don't want you doing the same destructive things that I've done all my life. Not that I've been a very bad person, it's just we all do destructive things, and we hurt ourselves, we hurt others, and then we hurt them, we hurt ourselves. It's such a vicious circle. And when we really dig into the nuts and bolts of like what I'm telling you right now, that pastor, 5 years later, still has an anger in his heart towards me, and yet he's pastoring a church. We wonder why marriages fall apart. Marriages fall apart because people dig in. Well, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this too. I'm not budging an inch. Well, one of you has to show grace and give an olive branch. Otherwise, you see nothing but war. Bitterness, resentment sets in. Show me where in any of that exchange that I explained to you, there was love, either through the pastor and me or between me and my girl. There was no love, there was no understanding. This was just both of us saying, no, I'm not budging in both situations. Show me where God was involved. You want to know why I do this stuff? It's because I don't want you hurting the way I hurt. It's because I want you experiencing the joyful moments that I get. I want you declaring victory over those moments because you'll have the understanding, the knowledge, and wisdom because God gave me the ability to go through it, the blessing to go through those stupid moments on both ends of the spectrum, but to be able to see and learn and be able to share with you the knowledge and wisdom of how His love shows us to how can you teach someone else wrongfulness if you do the same wrongfulness? You're actually reinforcing it. Not just in them, but in you. We harden our hearts instead of softening them. Where's the glory for the Lord when we do these things? I mean, seriously. If you have bitterness and hatred, evil in your heart, can you honestly expect God to move things? No, He's going to press the pause button until you address yourself, much less Him wanting to move the other person. But to be able to say, okay, Lord, tell me what it is that I'm doing wrong. And to be able to hear Him say, you got to give her grace too. She's not perfect either. You keep on telling her you're not perfect, but yet you're holding her against the wall because she shut you out that day. The gracious thing would be to go back and say, honey, I love you. Then I'm sorry, I should have had more understanding and said, okay, I'll try again another time. This is why marriages fail. Because two people buy into the bitterness side instead of the godly side. Heavy, heavy, heavy message. Something that we need to really, really take into consideration. Because we want to see the sunrise in the glory of God and not have storm clouds coming our way constantly. Think of the glory of what God puts up in the sky for us to look in the mornings. The sun. Don't we want to see the sun instead of storm clouds? Bitterness. If we don't exuviate the sunshine, the love of God, morning, I see you in the sunrise every morning. It's like a picture that you painted for me. Love letter in the sky. Story, I could have had a really different story, but saved my life. Nobody loves me like you love me, Jesus. I stand in awe of your amazing ways. I worship you as long as I am breathing. God, you are faithful and true. Nobody loves me like you do. His love carries so much that he's willing to teach us through these humbling moments of self-reflection. When he digs into our heart, and we say, Lord, reveal to me your truths are not my truths are not yours. Change my ways. Mountains, you're breaking down the weight of all my mountains. That's what he's done. He's making me more humble. I plead this for you because when we get rid of the arrogance and the ignorance of our own pride, we change, and that's his light being put up on a light post. Shines brightest when we're using love. Mountains, you're breaking down the weight of all my mountains. Even when it feels like I'm surrounded, you never leave my side. Oh, nobody loves me like you love me, Jesus. I stand in awe of your amazing ways. I worship you as long as I am breathing, God. You are faithful and true. Nobody loves me like you do. How self-convicting things can be when we hear him speak to us loudly. His love is so deep. Morning, I see you in the sunrise every morning. It's like a picture that you painted for me. Love letter in the sky. There's nothing wrong with sharing what we do wrong in our lives with others. It's how we witness. just like He loves us. Nobody loves me like You love me, Jesus. I stand in all of Your amazing ways. I'll worship You as long as I am breathing, God. You are faithful and true. Nobody loves me like You do. Lord, I pray that You reveal to all of us where our truths are so viciously flawed, and You help marriages be restored through the humility upon ourselves as we open our eyes looking for Your love to flourish more within our hearts, and that we lead each other mountains. You're breaking down the weight of all my mountains, even when I feel like I'm surrounded. You never leave my side. Nobody loves me like You love me, Jesus. I stand in all of Your amazing grace. I'll worship You as long as I am breathing, God. You are faithful and true. Nobody loves me like You do. Give them grace. Isn't that what You want? Give them love. In Jesus' name, I pray that we find a way to do this within our hearts and our souls.